Hi everyone. Today we're going to create a drawing of the eye and use just pencil and colored pencils to create a colored version, following up on what we did the other day. So the first thing we're going to do is, if you remember from the other day, we are going to draw the outline of an eye. So you start with a circle, and then you are going to have a top line touch the top of that circle, and then the bottom line will not touch that circle. Then we'll have that little corner area, and we're gonna do a light drawing. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. So draw very lightly because we're going to be going over it with colored pencils in the end. And the crease up here. So you have the basic outline of an eye, and then we're going to continue on with colored pencil. You also probably want to add the little flicker of light up here. I want to make my pupil a little bit bigger. And the corners right here as well. Just like that. And what you need are just basic colored pencils that you have. Okay, so we're going to start with the color of our eye. You can choose the color of your eye. My eyes happen to be green. We are going to start at the edge. You're going to be making a dark crescent moon type shape. Make sure you avoid the little flicker part where the light will shine. You're going to start with pressing your hardest, making a crescent moon type shape. You always want to shade in the direction of your shape and kind of go in that same direction. It will help with making things look more realistic. So you'll have your darkest around the edge here, and then get a medium to light. So just practice with the pressure of your hand. If you want to try a piece of scrap paper and practice going from dark to light, just remember, just lift off the paper and barely touch, and you can kind of get a scale going and practice from dark to light. Just like this. And you can always work back in it, kind of darken up areas. You can always erasers don't take too much out, so try to avoid getting too dark, but you can always go back in and use your eraser. Next, I'm going to overlap some other color to kind of give it a little more three-dimension. I chose to use a darker green. And you're going to do the same exact thing. Go in the crescent motion, press down hard on the edges. And kind of use shading lightly, let up on the pressure of your hand as you go. This one probably, maybe I'll try a little bit darker if I could find. Let me see. This works a little bit better. Like that. So one of the tricks with colored pencils is adding layering colors. So I have the two kinds of green, and I'm going to go ahead and add some of this gold color to the eye to kind of add a little bit more to it. And this is a lighter color, so I could press down a little bit harder. Let's blend that out. In order to push your value even more, you could take a even darker color and kind of go right around the edge and kind of darken it up a little bit more. So if you don't have several colors of green like this, you could use a brown or something darker just to kind of make it a little bit more three-dimensional. It'll push the values. It'll help make it look much more realistic. Now I'm going to use a final different color of green just to kind of blend everything together, so that you can kind of experiment with different colors to add shading to your eye. Okay, so now for the unexpected, I took a red, and what I'm gonna do is use red to kind of add a little bit of a different kind of feel to it, different kind of color. You'd be amazed of how this kind of works. I'm just gonna use it very lightly, especially in the lighter areas. And to finish off this part, I'm going to blend it with a white colored pencil. Kind of helps blend. This kind of takes a lot of practice. All right. So now we're on to black for the pupil. If you want to add a little bit of more dimension to your eye, you can add a little bit of black around the bottom. So what we're going to do is we are going to have two highlights. We're going to have one over to the left and one over to the right. The one on the left, we're going to keep it as a pure white little fleck of light, and the other one we are going to blend it with to make it a little bit of a more gray kind of shiny fleck of light, and I will show you how to do that. So I'm pressing down as hard as I can. I need to kind of get a new, sharpen up a little bit more. This pencil that seems a little dull. So I'm trying not to go over that little white spot. Your pupil can be any size because, you know, it depends on the light in the room. Your pupil changes size. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of white and kind of blend this in on the top. You can see it becomes kind of like a gray, shiny area. See that? It's like magic. I'm just gonna finish up this pupil by adding a little more darkness in here where I can. Okay, so the next step is actually using some blue to create some shadows on your the whites of your eye. So the eye is actually circular. It's a sphere, a ball, your eyeballs. So what you're gonna kind of do is kind of round the white part out. And there's a lot more color in your eye than just white when you really examine it. So go from darker on the edges and kind of go lighter as you go in. And feel free to stop this and pause it whenever you need to. All right, next part is using the red. So you're gonna just do we're gonna end up blending this in, but more. So you're gonna add some red in the corners of your eyes, and then you're going to blend that in a little bit more. If you do look in the mirror, you would see that there is quite a bit of some red around your eyes and pinks. So overlapping on the blue, it'll make it more like a violet. It should. Kind of blend it going down.